women often think that men are naturally better at figuring out how to assemble just about anything. And research into the brain seems to back them up. We now know that the right hemisphere, responsible for spatial reasoning, is more developed in men than in women. For our third challenge, the participants have to pack their vehicles with a large number of differently shaped containers.
So I am starting.
What we'll be observing is how men and women go about solving this tricky spatial problem.
Why don't we pile it outside the trunk, and then we'll decide what to do.
And you guys can like give her. All right. So you'll take that batch.
All right, bring
Jeez, it smells like my attic. Okay, we gotta fit the boxes inside the boxes, I'm guessing.
The ones that remain closed have to stay closed, right? Yeah. That was the rule?
If men have been given a spatial advantage by nature, are women condemned to be forever spatially challenged? One researcher used virtual reality to see if the problem was really in the subject or just in the test.
We've been limited to these tests that are two-dimensional representations of real objects, but we want to predict real-world performance. And this is what the mental rotation virtual reality test does. It allows people to interact with real objects, real virtual objects, in a way that it's not possible using two-dimensional tests. The stimuli consist of 1-inch square blocks that are put together in different configurations and in such a way that you can present the two objects exactly alike, or their mirror image, or alternative objects that aren't alike, and test how quickly a person can determine whether it's the same or a different stimuli. The interesting thing that we found with this research was that while men did show the advantage on the paper and pencil test or the mental rotation test, when we actually let people get their hands on stimuli and test their performance on that dynamic interaction, men and women performed equally well. The second interesting finding was that after a period of 12 to 15 minutes of practicing with the three-dimensional blocks, we found that women's performance was no longer significantly different than men when we gave them the post-test on the paper and pencil test.
That's it? Okay. Let's do it, guys.
This is it?
Unfortunately, most of us don't get to practice in virtual reality. So let's see what happens with our participants.
Okay, so we got one box that can open.
So this is a task which is going to involve having to visualize how much space you have left, as well as how to rotate these shapes.
These can go on the side. That.
And you can do this in one of two ways. You can do it through trial and error, right? Actually concretely put the boxes in and see if they fit.
That one could fit in.
One of these flat ones go inside here?
No, the flat ones are big.
No, like flat.
Too big.
Or you can sit down and think about it. Okay, this large green box needs to go over here, and I can put this box there.
Okay, give me the ones that cannot open.
Okay, all of them.
No.
No, that's not going to work.
No, so go back up.
I'm thinking,
Test me the green one.
In this task, the men are starting to categorize things. The big boxes go over here, the little boxes go over here. Oh, we can put these inside here.
All right.
that looks pretty good.
Oh, nice.
This we can figure out.
The women go at it in a less systematic fashion. They start to grab boxes and start inserting them in the car. They are trying willy-nilly. They're pulling things in and out.
Put these ones on top, because then you can put something on it easier. It's flatter. I don't know what you think.
Yeah, try it out.
One back. Okay, give me this. This can go in.
With the men, we can see that they need to take the boxes out of the car and replace them fewer times than do the women. And on top of it all, they don't seem to engage in unpacking the car.
All right.
Okay, that's close.
Woo! Good.
The men and women both managed to get all the boxes in the car, but the men did it much faster.
On tasks of abstract visualization and rotation, men far outperform women. This is one of the most robust findings we have in the literature.
One possible reason for that difference is the male advantage in just kind of navigation in unknown area or unknown space, because the physical world is three-dimensional. And if you have to move about in three-dimensional space, and you have to be sensitive to where you are in that space, then your spatial system should evolve to kind of allow you to generate a virtual three-dimensional representation of the world. And I think the ability to generate and represent these three-dimensional and move these three-dimensional shapes is just kind of a side effect of the ability to kind of know where you are in three-dimensional space.
If men have such great visual imaginations, how come they don't know where to hang a picture?
Designing, I don't think I'll do as well as her, but I could hold my own.
Did. He designed our gazebo. He put together 2 chairs, a little table, he put some candles out there and surprised me.
You know, I try to do a little something.
So he can have a little bit of a designing touch.
Yeah.
Yeah, Sunday afternoon, we got the room. Check it out, we in the car, we go through.
This is serious stuff. This is time and kilometers, man. No wrong turn.
It's a classic. Ask a woman how to get somewhere, and she'll say, take a left to the blue house. But how far is it to the blue house? And men will tell you, go 5 miles and then turn south. But have you ever tried to find south in the middle of the countryside? In the middle of the night? Our participants' sense of direction is about to be put to the test. They'll have to find their way, and they'll only have basic directions and distances. Will our men and women navigate differently?
We're going straight on.
We'll just try to pick out large monument-type things.
When women are navigating, they tend to pay attention to landmarks and personal turns like left and right.
Now it's the railroad tracks. Oh, and there's a cemetery there.
3.5, yeah, the railroad was more like 3.7.
Men are paying attention to very different features of the environment than are women.
So 7.9 or 8.1 on this. We should reach a stop sign.
Okay, and then?
Then we choose, reset the alarmometer, and we have to go south.
They tend to pay attention to abstract concepts like north and south, as well as concrete things that are unchanging in the environment, such as distance.
Where are we going next?
Rang de la Savane, turn left. That's at 6.8 kilometers. You only have 4.3.
Yeah, so we got.
What was that?
Oh, Rang de la Savane. Rang de la Savane.
There you go.
You're good. You're at 80. You're safe.
A little bit over.
Yeah, but not by much.
But I think that's why our speed was a little off when we passed the Dagno.
Shouldn't it be the same though?
Yeah, it should be the
Even if you go a little faster?
Yeah, because it's still the same distance.
Yeah, because it goes like that.
It is.
Yeah.
You're crazy.
You ever think about it? Because it's like, otherwise you just like drive really, really fast everywhere and like
Get there quick.
Southeast is this way.
Okay, look, that's east. Principal east. It's not necessarily
No, I'm telling you,
direction.
southeast is this way, I'm sure.
I think it may be that one.
That would be straight.
Yeah. But I don't want to make this decision alone.
Men and women navigate so differently, it's amazing we ever get anywhere. One researcher who has been studying gender differences and spatial reasoning used life-size mazes to test her theories.
On leur faisait, dans un premier temps,
First, the subjects had to learn the route we had created in the labyrinth. We wanted to see to what extent men and women used visual reference points to navigate in the labyrinth, and who would take the fewest wrong turns.
C'est-à-dire en visitant le moins de voies sans issue possible. Une fois que la personne avait mémorisé correctement le parcours à effectuer dans le labyrinthe,
First, we showed the subjects the way, and then we took them to the center of the labyrinth and asked them a question. Can you point towards the entrance and the exit of the labyrinth?
elle pouvait tendre le bras dans la direction du point d'entrée et du point de sortie du labyrinthe. donc, c'était de voir jusqu'à quel point la personne avait eu le temps, au cours de l'apprentissage du parcours, de se
We wanted to see whether the subjects had time during the exercise to create a sort of mental map of the route they had followed, even an approximate one, so that they could point in the right direction.
Centre du labyrinthe, être à même de pointer avec le bras dans la bonne direction. C'est sur cette tâche-là.
We found that men were clearly better at performing this task.
What Extrait found supports the idea that hormones can play a big role in gender-specific behavior.
On peut penser que cet avantage des sujets masculins.
We believe that one reason men could memorize a given route more easily and more quickly was that they had higher levels of certain sex hormones like testosterone.
Notamment la testostérone. Et on avait pensé que
we know that as men get older, their testosterone levels decrease. And since testosterone levels in women are always very low regardless of age, we thought these lower levels would have a greater effect on men and their performance.
Et que donc on devrait voir leur performance chuter de façon plus drastique que chez les femmes.
Results did in fact show that the performance of women declined slightly with age, but not significantly, while the performance of men declined significantly between the ages of 20 and 50 and beyond. So when men reached the age of 50, we no longer found any differences between the sexes in the ability to navigate.
Il n'y avait plus de différence intersexes.
So according to some research, it's testosterone that makes men interested in navigating the world. Maybe a little too interested. At the time of the month when their estrogen is low and testosterone is high, women excel at spatial tasks. But that can make it tricky the rest of the time.
That east, southeast thing we were doing before, ain't no way Tanya's gonna get that. Man.
East, west, north, south? Or east, west, north? No, north is that way, because they did point towards
now,
there.
Right? So I think north is still that way.
I still think south. I'm thinking south is there or there.
It's interesting to notice that what you might call spatial anxiety, the anxiety you might feel about having to drive to unfamiliar places, is not really evident in men, and it appears to be quite evident in the women in this task.
So,
so do we take the middle one?
North, south, north, south.
All right, we're at a stop. Turn right. And you take this all the way to the water.
For sure.
For sure.
We know from the lab that this is a common finding. Men appear to experience less anxiety about navigation tasks in general.
Blast him! Come on! I'm setting my scene. Hold up. I gotta wait for the double line to be finished.
Double line.
Oh, yeah. Here we go. Feel it. Feel it. Oh. That's it. That's it.
So east is that way.
So southeast?
Yeah.
Which is the one we were gonna take?
No.
No.
We were gonna take this one. This one is what we were gonna take. There's Racine.
Is that the
we
wrong
went the
one?
wrong way. Darn it! What's this one coming up? Ah, poop.
This is Racine as well.
Okay,
we were headed the right way.
Then that doesn't make any sense to me at all.
We understand ourselves now.
We want to make sure the compass was right.
Yo, I be the SMOOTHJGEE, Smooth G from RDP. I'm the JEFFREY super fly guy, and you know I be the apple of the eye. I'm rocking it cause I'm so ha.
Yes. Say Brico. Yeah!
No, straight. Go straight.
Yo!
Yes.
With a combination of raw talent and sheer luck, the men and women both made it to their destinations. But the women got lost several times, while the men had no problem finding their way. And this is confirmed by most research on gender and navigation skills.
In a study I did, I asked people where they had been on my campus, and men had been to far more places than women had. But it was interesting to notice why they went there. Women primarily went to these places to pick up friends or go to classes. Men went just for the sheer fun of it. Well, what's in that building? I'd like to see. And that kind of thing helps them build these mental maps that they have of space and to understand the relationship among objects and how it relates to the larger environment in general.
The large-scale sex difference is, I would say, almost certainly related to navigation in unfamiliar territory. And so there's good evidence that males throughout evolutionary history have probably traveled further than females. There's evidence in the fossil record that male leg bones are denser, so more movement, running, long-distance walking types of things. And the corresponding activities would probably involve a combination of hunting and intergroup warfare. So when you're moving in a very familiar space, landmarks work just right. But if you're trying to find prey or another group that's moving about, often in less familiar or unfamiliar space, then having a general sense of north, south, east, west, and generally where you are is going to be a much better strategy.
Men may no longer have to stalk wild beasts to bring home the bacon. But their superior spatial skills might be handy in the aisles of the supermarket. But even a skillful hunter can't escape a woman's power of observation. Men are still getting around more than women. In fact, recent research shows they travel almost twice as far every day. But that may be because men just love to drive.
So who drives?
I think it's fair. That's like a 50-50 split.
I drive the most.
On road trips, on road trips he drives more.
I drive the most. Next.
We have a trailer. On the trailer, you have a table. I would like to have a suspended lamp over my table, please.
Over the table.
Over the table.